Great way to start. What's up, YouTube? I'm back. It's Paul. If you watched my pack and play video for my 20 bundle, it was for this tournament here that I'm doing. It's led by USAF Hart, excuse me, United States Air Force Hart. His name's David Hart. He's running the tournament, so you buy your 20 bundle. That's the team that you have to make. So you saw me go through the packs. Here's the team I put together. I just won my first round game against Chase G, one of my buddies. Actually ended up pulling a nice 5-0 W. I tell you what, one of my strategies right off the bat was to go with lefties. Not all lefties. I think it's 3 and 2, but I rarely have one lefty in my rotation normally, let alone 3. But I figured with things being so sparse that a lot of guys are going to have teams that can hit lefties really well, like some really good right-handers that can crush lefties. So I thought, or excuse me, the other way around, some really good left-handers that can crush righties, and if I could spin it, I thought maybe that would work. So that's what I did. I got my ace. Now, tell you what, he got his ace too, so I thought I was in for it. Hugh Darvish comes out. But I was able to get to him a little bit. He was tough to hit, but I caught a few of those curves, caught a few cutters, and hit a few homers here. So let me show you the lineup really quick. I actually play Hart next. I might do a gameplay for that whole game to kind of walk you guys through it. But I figured, if nothing else, I'll at least show you what the team looks like here in this, and then we can go through it a little bit on the roster screen out of the game. So I got Corey Dickerson. That's Chase's stream. Let me turn that down. So I got Corey Dickerson leading off. Took him out to face a lefty with Tomas, but also for the defensive improvement. I know Yasmani Tomas's defense. I know it sounds weird to say defensive improvement, but that's how bad Dickerson is. I am cheesing a little bit. I got Hanley Ramirez out of position at second base to get the bat in there, but it's a trade-off, right? Because there was an easy double play that anybody with second base eligibility turns, but the fact that Ramirez didn't have it, he didn't turn it. There was another one that was like a weak, easy grounder, but I got 2 yellow throws in a row, so I couldn't throw them out. So I paid my price, but I also got a hit and scored a run with him. So it's a trade-off for sure. I know it might be a little bit cheesy, but when you're dealing with this team, you can't put a silver on the bench. You got to try to find a way to take the hit just to get the bat in there. And then there's Adrian Gonzalez. He hit one of the home runs. Adam Duvall, and then Peralta and Lowry. I like their solid defense. They're not elite, but they're solid defense for what we're dealing with here, bronzes and silvers. And they both had huge games. 2 hits apiece, a homer apiece. Peralta got it going at 1-0, that second inning home run, and I thought maybe that was going to be it for the day, to be honest. I was just hoping to keep chasing the yard, and then I had a little bit of an explosion there with both homers coming in in that other inning for the 4-run fourth, and then from there we kind of took care of it. Molina at catcher was a pretty big boon as well for the defensive standpoint. I really don't need him to hit that much. And then I punted the bat in center field and went strictly for Jake Marisnick's defense. I'll get into that in a moment when I can actually show you guys what he's working with. And then thankfully, probably the best part about this game, outside of course winning, was that I didn't have to go deep into the bullpen. Hyunjin Ryu gave me 7, and then Felipe Rivera was able to handle it for the final 2 innings, going both of those. So there it is, a 5-0 win against Chase. His team was John Jay, Francisco Cervelli, David Dahl, Chase Headley, Didi Gregorius, Chris Young, that's just the regular Chris Young live series, Justin Morneau, Micah Johnson, is Yu Darvish, and then some of his bullpen guys you can see are Derek Law, Zach Duke, and Hunter Robles. So, okay, let me back out real fast, show you a little bit more detail. I know it stops recording at some point in the back out session there, that's why I had that pause. Sorry to put a weird pause there right in the middle. But okay, let's take a look at the team just in a little bit more detail so I can give you guys an idea of what I'm doing. I'll show you the rest of the rotation. Oh, I only went, oh, excuse me. I thought I was, you know what? I made a last second move. I was going to go 3-2 on the lefties. I made a last second move to take Eduardo Rodriguez out for Daniel Mangden. And I'll show you guys why. I think this was the right decision. Gotta stick with it now anyway, even if it wasn't. Here's Mangden. Oh, and Rodriguez right below him. Okay, so he's 65, 69 on the hits 9 and K9. That's the 2 I care about the most, so we're really focusing on that. And then you move all the way over to the velocity and break. 85 velocity, I liked that. Pitch mix is not great, 4-seam change curve, and I don't really use 2-seamers that much, although Hyunjin Ryu's was actually pretty decent. Then you look at this, and you got Eduardo, and he has the break, but not the velocity. He does have four-seam change slider, but then below 60 for both his hits and K9. So I thought it was worth the trade-off for more velocity, especially against the guys that we're going to be facing. They're just not going to be very good cards hitting-wise. That I thought maybe gas would be a little bit more useful than deception. So that's why I ended up switching it. But I was originally going to go 3 lefties, 2 righties with the hopes of busting somebody up the way I did Chase. Chase was really upset that it was a lefty. He had a lineup ready to go with a lot of lefties. Here's the other guy, Zach Davies. Really sneak tip good. I just mentioned I don't really love 2-seamers, so that could be an interesting treat. I put treat in quotes because it could be really bad. But change curve cutter as well, and then 71 hits 9 I really like. In fact, all 3 of his pertinent per 9s, hits, Ks, and walks are pretty solid there, going 71, 63, 67, excuse me. So I like him. And then Willie, aka Wiley. It is Willie, by the way. I just say Wiley because it's kind of funny. He's only got so this is basically a combination of Mengden and Eduardo, because he's only got the 50s on the K and hits 9, but he has that 88 velocity, and I like that big velocity along with some decent break. Really just going to be trying to win with stuff with him, but I figure I think he can sit 95 with his fastball, devastating slider, and we'll see how the changeup works. That could be the game changer. Pun intended, I guess. It's not a good pun. Usually it's intended if it's good. Excuse me, I had a hiccup there. Real professional, I know. And then we got Andrew Miller. You know, the BB9, that's going to get you, and that's going to be tough to kind of navigate, but we're dealing with a 69, which is nice. 5 pitches. I'll use all 5 of them. He's got some decent stuff, too, again, from the left side. Let me see what his velocity is. See, by the way, be careful, y'all. When you're looking at stuff, and you're trying to decide about a pitcher, I should say, and you look at his velocity number, and it's 62, and maybe you're thinking, oh, that seems really bad. I thought he would be better. Go to daddyleagues.com, just as it sounds, Daddy Leagues. I know it sounds like it could be a different kind of website, but it's actually an amazing website for this game. Go to players, look them up, and you get individual pitches. So if you see a 62 velocity, you might be thinking, oh, he probably doesn't even go much above 90 from the left side. The thing of it is, it's that the fact that his curveball and slider are 77 and 80 respectively. That's a composite velocity number, so I don't think it's even that useful. Sometimes it's just like Thor, and it doesn't matter because everything's fast. But with somebody like Miller, who's got some pretty deep velocity bands, he can go from 92 to 77. You're going to get a 62 that could be misleading. So his fastball sits 92, which means you could probably get 93, 94 from the left side. So be interested to kind of see how he works. Per 9s aren't great. I really don't necessarily want him. Obviously, I'd love to get Ryu as much as I could, but I'll take any of these 3 in the middle, more than having to get with Miller. I mean, I'm stating the obvious. I'm sorry, because he's a 69 overall. There's 75, 75, 73. No crap, I want the better pitchers. Let's look at the bullpen. Bullpen, I think, ended up being pretty dang sharp. Here's what we got. Brett Cecil, Pedro Baez, Felipe Rivero, Cam Bedrosian, Fernando Abad, Ernesto Frieri, and Hector Neris. So we got our elite lefty right here. He can kind of do it all. He's got good per 9s. He's got good stuff. Now that curveball, I've had some issues with it in the past where I'll hang it. And so it is a little sketchy to have a, oh, there goes my charger. Sorry, guys. Just the cord. It is a little disheartening. That's maybe not the right word. Just a little bit sketchy to have curveball as your main pitch, because, man, I hang those suckers when I throw with meter sometimes. But the trade-off is, again, that we're facing bronzes, commons, and silvers for the most part, a couple golds here and there, and I think there's one diamond hitter that was drafted or pulled, Nolan Arenado. So I think there's less risk. And from the left side, he can go 92 to 94 with both the four-seamer and sinker, and then he's got a changeup that goes down to 84. So I like, it's only 2 velocity bands, either 91 to 94 or 82 to 85. So it's only the 2 bands, but they're really sharp, and the stuff moves. So I do like him for sure. Pedro Baez, whoops, backed out. Pedro Baez, you know, one thing I've noticed about him is I like the stuff, just the raw stuff. He hits 97. He's got great 89 velo, 80 break, good per nines, but it's a little bit flat. I think this is one of those guys that you look at the card and you're like, oh, that's pretty darn good. And it will work against some guys, and I think it'll work in this tournament if I run into the right folks. But there's going to be some who devastate it because it's flat. The stuff is flat. You know, it says 70 break on his four-seamer. It doesn't really have that life. It does have 98 control, which I really like, and the changeup has 97 control. So when you're on with Baez, it can be really good. But against good hitters, I think his stuff comes out flat, and they're not afraid of it. Felipe Rivero, just a solid bronze lefty. This is another one where the velocity number is deceiving. He gets up to 96 with his fastball from the left side. That's really, really good. The only bummer is he's got an 81 homer per nine, which no doubt inflates his overall, and it doesn't help us. It doesn't do anything for us. Homer per nine, as I mentioned in pretty much every video, but just for those that are new and maybe don't know this, homer per nine does not affect online play in any form or fashion. Cam Bedrosian, another hard thrower, great K9, great hit 9. I like this. Control's bad, but 4 pitches from a reliever with high heat, I like it. Fernando Abad, crafty lefty. Look at that 96 break, good 75 hit 9. Two seams is number 1 pitch, so we got 2 guys whose top pitch is a 2-seam. It's all right. We'll make it work. I don't love the pitch. I'm not great with it, but we can make it work, and that knuckle curve is filled. Ernesto Frieri, this goes the other way from Rivero. So you see a 71 overall, and you're like, oh, geez, that guy automatically sucks. Yeah, well, it's a 28 homer per nine, which, again, means nothing. If you look at the hit 9, K9, control, velocity, and break, this is a silver card, y'all. I mean, it is a silver card. So Ernesto Frieri is a sneak tip good one. I made a mental note to look him up because that's how I thought it played out when I saw him pulled. I was like, that could end up being good. And then we got Hector Neris, a guy I really like. I love that splitter of his, and he can run it up as well. This is similar to Frieri, even on a higher level, because the 49 homer per nine probably brings him down, which means he's probably closer to an 81 to 82 overall in terms of online play talent. So that's the bullpen. We'll go over the lineup again quickly, not as in detail as not as detailed as the pitching. Corey Dickerson leading it off. Just want to get him as many at-bats as possible as an 81-75 against righties. And we do have a lefty killing backup, 78-76. So whatever's going on in that top spot, we got somebody who can do damage. Plus, we could also just use Eduardo Escobar if we wanted, because he can also go out there in the outfield, and he's 81-63. So we got answers for when he invariably faces a lefty at some point in the game. Hanley, already told you, playing him out of position, but look, he's just too good. He definitely kills lefties, but he's good against righties for me as well, so I just play him up there. Adrian, solid numbers across the board, great fielding, no speed, but just a nice number 3 hitter. Duvall, that's our power. I like it. Not really susceptible to righty versus lefty. Actually better against righties, which is interesting, and can move around a little bit. So always going to be in the lineup for sure. Peralta, just solid. Just solid. We already got a homer with him against a righty, which was nice on 52 power. But just a solid guy for a bronze. Same with Lowry. Good defense, really like that over at third base, can move him around in the infield. Good vision, kind of helps him play up a little bit. Nothing crazy, but hey, he went yak as well. Yachty, all about the defense. And then Marisnik, even more so about the defense. That hitting is terrible. If I happen to win a couple games, let's just say randomly, because it's double elimination too, so I think I could play as upwards of 4 games without even making necessarily a huge dent in the tournament since it's double elim. I could play 4 games. Jake Marisnik could get 0 hits, and I'd still be happy with it because he made several defensive plays in that last game. The speed and fielding alone in center field is enough for me. Giovitello was a guy who was a late addition. When I was kind of going through my list, I was like, I didn't even really consider him. Then I looked and I was like, whoa, love that vision and contact. Plays a healthy second base, decent pinch hitter. Kelly Johnson can move around, nothing special, but can go yak for you. I do pretty well with his swing. I used him a lot in BR. When he was charged up on the inside edge, he was really nice. And then we got Chris Coughlin, who's kind of the other side of like Tomas, I should say. Like these two can kind of play off of each other a bit. And notice all these guys can really move around. So we got flexibility. Injuries are off, so it's not as helpful, but just in terms of pinch hitting and then moving guys around or defensive replacements and all that sort of stuff, we've got flexibility. So that's the team. I'll keep you posted. Like I said, I play USAF Heart next, and I might do a gameplay on that and put that up as a video as well. So anyways, $20 pack and play. What you do, or 22,000 stubs. You don't have to necessarily put in the 20. What we did was go in, buy a bundle, and that's your team. So if you want to do that with some friends or whatever, or make a tournament of it, first off, please invite me because it was really fun, and it's just kind of an interesting quirk on the tournament structure. All right, thanks for watching. Please hit that subscribe button. Got plenty of stuff coming out all winter.